Join Edwin Frondozo on the Business Leadership Podcast every week for a unique program featuring insights and actionable items from the world's most successful business leaders. Hear firsthand the exclusive interviews and personal journeys on how today's transformational leaders made it to the top.
This is the Business Leadership Podcast, and I'm Edwin Frondozo. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. I am super happy to have you and excited to share with you today's episode where I had the opportunity to sit down with two amazing guests. The first, Mary Aduckiewicz. She's the Chief Executive Officer at Denninger. She was born and raised and also continues to reside in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, where she is an accomplished business leader holding increasingly senior financial roles in various industries over the years, which led her to her current role as CEO at Denninger in 2016. My other guest is Christina Vandermellen. She's the VP of Business Deposits and Treasury Services at RBC, with an overall responsibility for growing market share of the business deposit portfolio, as well as developing the strategic vision, delivering market-leading digital solutions in cash management, deposits, and trade. Christina's held progressively senior roles in sales, enterprise strategy, business financial services strategy, and regional banking. In our conversation, we discuss how Canadian businesses can plan for recovery and gain a competitive edge with real-time market insights. Mary opens up and she shares her experience with RBC Inside Edge and the changes she had seen in her business since using the analytics. Christina will highlight the launch and the benefits of RBC Insight Edge can have on commercial and small to medium-sized retail business clients. Today's episode is brought to you by RBC Inside Edge. RBC Inside Edge helps Canadian businesses plan for recovery and gain a competitive edge with real-time market insights. Small to medium retail business clients interested in learning more can contact their RBC business advisor, and commercial clients can sign up at rbc.com/Inside Edge. With that, here we go. Welcome to the Business Leadership Podcast, Mary and Christina.
Thanks for having us today.
Yeah, thanks, Edwin.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to be learning about both you and the businesses and how you guys are growing and scaling in partnership together. But I just want to jump right in with you, Mary, with Denninger. And if you could just tell us about the business and the business you're leading.
Sure. Thanks, Edwin. Denninger's is a specialty food retailer based in Hamilton, Ontario. We're a family-owned business, and we've been in existence for 67 years. Our heritage is European, and specifically the Denninger family came from southern Germany shortly after the Second World War. We have 5 retail stores located in Hamilton, Burlington, and Oakville, and our own manufacturing plant is located in the north end of Hamilton. So our core purpose is bringing great food experiences to life, and accordingly, we have a passion for quality. At our plant, we make our own hams, bacon, and sausages, and many other items in small batches, following the old-fashioned European way. We source our meat locally from southern Ontario and have been dealing with these trusted vendors for decades. Our gourmet kitchen produces many fine soups, lasagnas, cabbage rolls, salads, and hors d'oeuvres, all made in small batches. So coming into our stores, in addition to all the products we make at our manufacturing plant, you'll find an incredible selection and variety of specialty groceries, sweets, and cheeses from Europe, and baked goods from a wide selection of local bakeries. Everything that one needs for everyday living and entertaining over the holidays. So Christmas and the holidays is a special time at Denninger's, as we have imported many European chocolates and grocery items, and we have our signature Christmas gift baskets and boxes. So we are literally a European Christmas market in Canada at this time of year.
Oh my God. You know, I got so much memories of Christmas markets in Slovakia. My wife is from Slovakia, and all the meats and everything sounds lovely. Thank you for sharing. Oh my gosh, I got hungry right there.
But you got to come to one of our stores.
100%.
I would suggest.
100%.
Closest to you.
Yeah. Well, my parents live in Mississauga, so for those who are listening, we're talking about the Greater Toronto area, and everything is about a 45-minute drive, and you could get to many different little places. But I guess I'm curious, Mary, as a retail business, I'm thinking, I come from a tech background, and everything is data-driven. I'm wondering, what's driving your interest when it comes to analytics now?
Well, sure. For one thing, our goal is to grow our company profitably. And a couple of the key things that we need to understand is really who our customer is and how do we compare to our competition. And we can get a feel for this using Insight Edge. I have to give you a little bit of a history. When our account manager, Justin Tavarsky, first demoed Insight Edge to it, I was almost salivating, honestly. And we quickly arranged an in-depth demo with the Denninger's management team. Our marketing and merchandising manager, Natalie Couturier, also got very, very excited when she saw the data that was available for Insight Edge. As I understand it, and RBC has got one of the largest card bases in Canada, with their Visa, MasterCard, and debit. And Christina, you can probably comment better on this than I can. And I'm not a statistician, but I think the data that we see here is statistically valid and gives an indication of retail trends and very representative of our customer buying trends. When you think of the billions of transactions that's behind this, it's phenomenal, and it summarizes very quickly for all of this data. So it's in a format that a business can easily use. So, you get this kind of information in the past from marketing research firms, and I might add, not at an insignificant cost. So we were so excited, Edwin, when we saw this, because we were just thinking about all the things that we could do with this.
Oh, that's amazing. And we're going to dig down more deeper into that, and we'll definitely share resources, how to get more information. So, Christina, I guess turning to you, I know RBC had recently launched this, and it sounds like it's going well. Can you tell us a bit more about the tool, how it helps clients tap in to and access the benefits of big data? And really, if you could share, and this might be a long-winded question, why did RBC decide to launch this? And if you could give us the 10,000-foot view of how it works.
Sure. Thanks, Edwin. Maybe I'll start with why RBC launched this tool. At RBC, we have industry specialized strategies that aim to support specific industry vertical client needs. And actually, 2 roles ago, I was working with a colleague on our commercial retail strategy, and how to leverage data was playing a big role in this strategy formulation. Essentially, we wanted to be able to bring the power of data and information to all clients, regardless of size or scale, and help them answer questions we felt retailers would really want answers to, which would help them operate and grow their businesses. These included questions such as, help me better understand the nuances of my market or surrounding area to highlight future opportunities. Help me understand who's buying from me and how I can drive retention. Help me understand the profile and performance, or my profile and performance versus competitors. Help me optimize my current location and or facilitate my decision to expand. And so this was really the inception of Insight Edge. But then fast forward to the tool we have today, which is really a first of its kind Canadian self-serve platform that RBC clients can use and access directly. And it's much more powerful than I ever imagined in those initial days. And then so how does it work? RBC Inside Edge uses proprietary algorithms and real-time intelligence to generate insights on consumer spending and commercial activity for neighborhoods and businesses across the country based on anonymized credit and debit card transactions and demographic and location data. It works with massive sets of unidentifiable aggregated data, safeguarded using rigorous privacy standards. It's completely anonymized and cannot be traced back to an individual. We also brought it to market in a bit of a unique way. As the early days, we had an MVP, and we conducted a pilot with about 30 large retailers who were provided ongoing crucial feedback to ensure we were delivering true client value. And overall, the platform was really well received. And so that's why we pursued the launch of Inside Edge, because we really know our business clients are looking to RBC to help them manage and grow their business without having to struggle through sorting data and making sense of the increasing volume of available information to make data-driven strategic decisions. And Inside Edge is a tool that lets clients access simplified, actionable insights that are tailored and relevant to their business.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. And it got me thinking about how I need to tap into that for one of my tech businesses. I'm an RBC client, and I'm like, why didn't my account manager tell me about that? Just kidding. We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk to them.
I know for sure. No, this is great, and it really got my mind thinking, and I'm sure those who are listening are also thinking about, oh wow, there's a lot in here as well, and how could I tap into that? But I guess, moving on and thinking about the past 18 months since COVID hit, I'm wondering, particularly with retailers, right? Like how they've been significantly impacted by it. How does, thinking from that point of view, how can RBC Inside Edge really help them recover?
Yeah, I don't think anyone needs me to outline all of the challenges the pandemic has brought on for both your average person as well as businesses. But if I focus for a minute on some of the opportunities we've seen emerge and how Inside Edge could help moving forward, we have seen tremendous small business growth over the last 20 odd months, as some have viewed this time as the catalyst to start the business they've always wanted to. Other businesses who may have had one or two locations also seized the opportunity to sign up for more affordable leases to open a second or third location. And RBC Inside Edge has been able to help both of these populations with location analysis that allows them to assess the desirability of certain neighborhoods based on a number of demographic factors and traffic patterns. Other businesses have had to respond to changes in customer profiles and spending patterns as they have experienced dramatic shifts in customer profiles. And so we also work with some of those businesses to proactively assess the makeup of the new clientele that was frequenting their stores so that they could make informed business decisions and shift businesses or operating models as needed to support their new or maybe desired clientele. And I would just say the level of resilience we have seen among business clients has really been outstanding. And I think many businesses have also learned more about the loyalty of their client base, even in these challenging times, which has also been quite inspiring and something that else that RBC Inside Edge can highlight for them in terms of number of repeat shoppers, degree of spend, and those types of metrics. So I think as we move into recovery mode, and we keep crossing our fingers that we are getting into recovery mode, Inside Edge can continue doing just this. There may be some who have, held off starting a new business or growing their locations, but as things open up, they may get the confidence to do so. And so RBC Inside Edge can help support this data-driven decision making. And many don't know what traffic patterns are going to return with some of these ongoing hybrid work environments. It's hard to predict, how and where customers will shop most often. But the beauty of Inside Edge is that it offers very timely data that is frequently updated to show in the moment shopping behavior, which would offer businesses the flexibility to adopt business models as we move forward. And many retailers are also talking about the ability to delight their customers as a key differentiator. And one way to start doing this is by knowing who your customer base is and how it's evolving. And RBC Inside Edge can provide this type of information.
Oh man, thank you for sharing. I mean, it's really interesting, and what I really heard in terms of a key benefit as any business leader running a retailer or a company and leveraging the data that they could get from Inside Edge is really one thing, understanding how people are going, if I'm hearing everything correct. But what was really inspiring, as you said, was just hearing the loyalty and understanding oh, wow, people are really stuck with us, right? Because sometimes, and especially me being a business owner, you feel, especially during the pandemic, you feel really oh, there's nothing good going on. But if you're getting this little piece of data saying, look, you actually have some customers who keep coming and keep supporting despite their problems or what their challenges are during the pandemic. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. And, for the business leaders who are listening, I think that's, hopefully they took something away from that as well. Just turning back to you, Mary, being an, RBC Insight Edge customer, how has it impacted your business now?
Well, Edwin, four things come immediately to mind. First thing, supporting future growth. We're always looking for potential new locations for organic growth within our company. And through the use of RBC's Inside Edge, we've delineated our existing stores between what we call destination stores and community stores. In other words, how far do people actually travel to come to these stores? And this is important for us in terms of understanding potential future locations. And we were able to use Inside Edge to see how the demographics of a potential market compared to our existing market, and then we can get a feel for how successful we would be there. So that's the first thing. The second thing is benchmarking ourselves vis-a-vis our competitors. Again, as Christina mentioned, this is all anonymous data, so we don't know who it is, but we can compare our customer base to that of our competitors. I mean, how old are they? What percentages fall in these various bands? Where do they live? How far do they travel? What are their income levels? And again, it's an absolutely amazing summarized data. It's just I just can't say enough about it. Marketing and advertising is another thing we use it for. We can see for each location where our customers come from, and we can map that by FSAs or Canada Post's forward sortation areas. In other words, the first 3 digits of your postal code. And we can see where customers are coming from for each location. And then we can target our marketing and our advertising initiatives in areas where we think, well, maybe we should be getting more customers from a different area of the city. And the last thing is that comes to mind immediately is the customer profiling that Christina just talked about. We have visibility into our existing customer profile, and we know that we're underrepresented in certain areas. And so Inside Edge has given us a way of identifying this. And now we need to figure out, well, how are we going to close that gap? So, the old saying is you can't control what you can't measure. And Inside Edge really gives us a cost-effective way of measuring what we want to influence. And at least it gives us more visibility on this.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. So Christina, I guess for those who are listening and might be wondering now, who has access to RBC Inside Edge, and I guess more importantly, how can they access it?
Sure. So maybe first, who is Inside Edge best suited for? It's really suitable for small and commercial businesses that are looking for a simpler, more aggregated way to access comprehensive data around customer and market trends, competitive benchmarks, and other insights to support the operation and growth of their business. While it's designed to support clients across a variety of sectors, it's been especially helpful for those in retail. But we've also had clients in healthcare and other sectors who have found the platform very compelling as well. RBC Inside Edge is available to RBC business clients, and commercial clients can sign up at rbc.com/Inside Edge. And small to medium retail businesses clients interested in learning more can also contact their RBC business advisor to learn about the platform.
Oh, this is great. It's really insightful for me, and that's super meta, saying insightful for the RBC Insight Edge. And just before I wrap up this quick conversation, I'd love to, being the business leadership podcast, I'd love to just tap into both of your insights and try to share for those also listening, maybe some quick tip in terms of how you've continually grown throughout your career, and maybe what things that you're actually looking at now personally in terms of what you've been putting into play. And I'll start with you, Mary.
Well, sure. I guess I go by the adage that great leaders are made, they're not born. So from my perspective, continuous learning and incremental improvement, you can't necessarily, if you improve 1% a week, you're 50% better off by the end of the year. Second thing is building an A team around you. A people are people that are resourceful and they get things done, and it makes it easier when you've got good high performers with you. Third thing that I'll add is just to be self-aware, and that's where emotional intelligence comes in. Be aware of how you affect other people, listen to them, spend time with people, and because business is really all about challenging the energy of people in the right direction.
That's great. How about yourself, Christina?
Yeah, I think as I've progressed through my career, it's probably, as a leader, just thinking about trying to attain this balance of empowerment versus support. It's a lot like parenting that way, I find too. And I think early in my career, I often leaned a lot more toward support, thinking I was supporting my employees, but probably hovering over them a little bit more and balancing that empowerment now to just say, I really trust you. You go make the decisions. As Mary just spoke to, having the A team is a benefit of that because you can really trust them to go make decisions. And, going through this project with Inside Edge, also just this concept of being agile and MVP analysis and getting something to market and knowing you don't have all the answers and letting clients give feedback and adapting the tool and having the team sort of run with that and take it to market is really empowering. So it's a new way of leadership, and you have to get a bit comfortable that you have to let them decide and let the process flow. So it's really this balance between, I think, empowerment and support that I think it's going to be a challenge for myself for the next number of years as well. I don't know if you ever get it right, but it's an ongoing battle, if you will.
Yeah, I love it. What came to mind, it was a quote that I received from another past guest. It's like just getting comfortable of being uncomfortable, in that leadership space, and letting go and empowering and launching, right? And those are a couple of key words that I heard you say, but I do appreciate it. And Christina, if you could tell us more information about yourself, where we could find information about you or RBC Insight Edge, or anything else you'd like to share to the listeners today.
Yeah, I mean, again, any listeners, I'd really encourage them to learn more about Inside Edge by going to rbc.com/Inside Edge. And just, we have some videos on there that they can get a bit comfortable with the tool and what it would look like and sort of assess the applicability to themselves. I really encourage businesses now, that are under digital transformation and under digital threat often to look at ways they can just make more informed decisions. And I think this is a tool that's really going to help them do that. So I would encourage them to go have a look at it.
And Mary, for the final word, where could we find more information about yourself and your company?
Well, in terms of finding out more information about Denningers, we do have a website, www.denningers.com, DENNINGERS. And folks can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. But the best way to find out more about us, if you're local in this area, is come and visit one of our stores. And as I said, it's literally a Christmas market right now. So we look forward to welcoming people in our stores.
Amazing. Thank you, too, for joining us on the Business Leadership Podcast today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
That's it, Biz Leaders. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Business Leadership Podcast with my special guests, Mary from Denningers and Christina from RBC. If you want to learn more about Mary, Christina, Denningers, or RBC Inside Edge, please go to thebusinessleadership.com/159. Are you a multi-passionate business leader, entrepreneur, or creator? Looking for other like-minded people? Come join me in Cafe 100X. It's a virtual co-working community where we connect, co-work, and celebrate while living the 100X life. Simply go to cafe100x.com for more information. Thanks again to today's episode sponsor, RBC Inside Edge. RBC Inside Edge helps Canadian businesses plan for recovery and gain competitive edge with real-time market insights. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, rate, and leave a comment on your favorite podcast player. Thank you again. Edwin signing off.
Thank you for listening to the Business Leadership Podcast at thebusinessleadership.com.